Hello, I am so glad you are here. This is going to be a chatty thing. This is basically for people who have been here before. And we're going to talk about relationships, the future of this channel, some big health challenges that I am struggling with right now, hair loss, like legit crazy hair loss, and what I'm doing about it. So this is a real catch-up episode. There are some things I have not been sharing for a while, and I thought it was time that I came clean about it. And I really care about you guys, and maybe you've noticed some things are different, so I thought this was a good opportunity. So make sure you have something delicious to drink. You're sitting somewhere cozy. I'm actually going to go sit in the front because right now being outside is really helpful with current health things that are happening. So I'm going to fill you in on that and other stuff. So let's go outside. Okay, so I have been holding this in and not talking about this for a while, but there are unfortunately some health things that have come up for me, and probably nothing serious, but I developed at the very beginning of June, after a very frustrating, stressful month, I developed tinnitus or tinnitus, call it what you want. And it has been very stressful. I saw the doctor after 2 weeks. She ordered an MRI. She has also referred me to an ear, nose, and throat doctor, but our healthcare, although free, we pay huge taxes, but free, there are massive wait times. So probably looking at least a year. And the MRI she ordered, I don't know if it'll be 3 months, 6 months. So that's frustrating. The biggest thing has truly just been the mental. I am shocked at how much this is bothering me. And there are a lot of things where, first of all, I've told people about it. So if you're not familiar, tinnitus is ringing in the ears. For me, it's like a tone. It's like a constant high-pitched tone that I hear all of the time, and I hate it. I remember hearing about tinnitus and thinking, gosh, that sounds like pure hell. And now I have it. So I won't say it's pure hell. I will say there have been moments where I have been absolutely full-on overwhelmed with anxiety, like had a panic attack. And I told, like I was telling some friends at church, and they were like, oh my gosh, that sounds like the worst thing ever. That just sounds like pure hell. And I'm like, So that doesn't actually help me. That just makes me feel worse when people say that, as much as I appreciate it. But my husband has it, and he's like, you get used to it. Our former pastor says the same thing. So I am praying that I do. I'm only a month in. Apparently it takes 3 months for it to be considered. Oh, there's a deer. Turn you around and show you a deer. There's the deer. We actually had a bear that walked by our window last week, and my husband was working in Vancouver at the FIFA thing, the World Cup. I don't even know what I'm like, the FIFA thing. So I was missing him. It was so stressful. It's just been so awful, the anxiety. And we did a speaker phone. We watched a movie together at the same time, and as this bear walks by, I'll put it on the screen. And I wondered what was wrong with this one tree. It just kept dying. Now I know. It's the bears like to go and scratch themselves on it. So anyway, I do want to explain a couple things quickly about, and the reason why I want to talk about this tinnitus thing is because I know a lot of people deal with health challenges and mental health things. And so for me, this is basically like 50% mental health, if not more. I mean, actually, it's almost 100%. And the thing is, it could go away. There's actually a good chance it'll go away, because I saw an audiologist today, and she was like, you have no hearing changes, thank God. And she's like, yeah, sometimes it just goes away. So the most important thing is to just remain calm and not to stress whenever you hear it, because then that tells your brain to turn the volume up, which is so annoying, because first thing in the morning, it is so loud. When I go to bed at night, so loud. I just want to read. That my favorite time of day is basically like 10:30 to midnight when I'm laying in bed reading, and now there's just like this loud noise, and it's just stressing me out so much. So I'm going to take you to another spot in the garden so I can demonstrate something to you. So one of the reasons I wanted to bring up this health thing was maybe if you were like, oh, she seems different or whatever. I actually love making videos, and showing up for you guys is one of the things that has been the most healing for me, helping me keep my sanity, and keeping the house. One of the things where I talk about in this membership, or in our and the membership, but on this channel, about how when our house is under control, we are healthier. And because my house has been decluttered, it's easy to clean, that it was easy to keep on top of, especially because my husband has been gone the entire time, almost, that I had this health issue. And my kids are 16, 18, and just turned 21. So that's like, they're less of an issue. You know, I was driving my youngest around a little bit, but because the house is decluttered, it's easier to take care of the house and easier to take care of myself, easier to take care of the kids, the cats, the things that matter. The tomato plants, on the other hand, they really need to be pruned. In fact, I think we went to an event. It might have even literally been the day before. I think it was the day before the tinnitus happened. And I was like, that was the last time I pruned them. So it's been a month. They need to be pruned. My tomatillos look amazing. It's absolutely filled. And I love gardening, but I have not had it in me to garden. I have barely had it in me to cook. I completely lost my appetite. That's the thing for me. If I get anxiety, I lose my appetite, which, you know, sure, you lose a few pounds, but I also for sure lost muscle. I was trying to eat protein, you know, that's so important to me. And I know in particular that my body, my brain, my subconscious was already freaking out. Like, I started panicking about everything. Like the kids growing up, I thought this was it. This is the end of the world. There's the deer again. I was like, we'll just have the deer in the background. They are everywhere here, and they are so hungry they will literally eat plastic. They will eat plastic. I knew that my brain already was feeling under threat because it did not like this sound. And I was being like, this sound scares me. So my brain was like, oh my gosh, we're under threat. And then I'm not eating because I've completely lost my appetite. So I knew you have to eat. You have to take care of yourself. And the thing on this channel is we talk about food, water, and shelter, because food is, of course, like how we feed ourselves, very important. Water, how we take care of ourselves, how we rest, that's sort of how that bucket I put that under. And shelter, your home, what we surround ourselves with. So my home, it was clean, it was tidy enough. I mean, it certainly wasn't spotless. I was definitely not on my normal routines, but it was not spotless. Like, I'm looking around, there are weeds everywhere, and I'm like, it's fine. That was very low on the priority list. Like, the garden is popping in many ways. I knew that I still had to make sure I was getting like breakfast and dinner. Lunch was a little harder. I was just really feeling very anxious, but now, thankfully, I've come through that. Part of that, I feel like, of course, is my faith. But the other thing is, like, we do adapt. Humans are adaptable. We will get used to things. People who have tinnitus, they adapt to it. I am praying mine goes away. I talked to my physiotherapist yesterday. Let's go over by the corn. This is my popcorn. Greenhouse is in the background there. I talked to my physiotherapist, and he's like, often it goes away. So I was like, okay, good. That's all I need to know. You know, trust in God. So I ultimately, there's that. So the tinnitus, stressing me out massively, really affecting my mental health. And it's not like, I am normally so happy-go-lucky and trying to stay very grateful, and I am. I still feel incredibly blessed. The other thing, though, is I started losing my hair, but that started about a year ago. And I saw my naturopath about it. The reason I saw, and I did talk to my GP as well, but this naturopath in particular, she specializes in perimenopause, has tons of training. And that's what this is. It's a hormonal thing. I was noticing like clumps of hair coming out. I mean, you always lose hair, but way more than normal, especially around I've always had a big forehead, but especially around here. I was losing my eyebrows. I'll put on screen a picture of my eyebrows from before I started the treatment this year. and maybe with the lighting right now, it won't be as noticeable. But in a bit, I'm actually going to show you for people who have been, so just stay tuned. This is at the very end of the video, so if you're not interested, don't worry. But people always ask me about my hair routine, so I'm going to do that at the end of the video. If you're interested, stay tuned for that. And I will show you what my eyebrows look like inside. But I was getting way more missing, like right around here. I started Nizoral, which apparently can help because there's like a yeast that can make us lose our hair when we're in perimenopause. And it really wasn't helping. Then I tried Minoxidil, which is like Rogaine. So I tried the foam, but that was very hard to manage with my hair. And you might be like, what are you talking about? You're losing your hair. Your hair's so thick. It's not. It's actually very thin. It has texture, which makes it very fluffy, which is great. I will not complain about that. Curly hair has been such a struggle for me my whole life, but right now I'm really glad for it because it does help it seem fuller. So the Rogaine was hard to use just because of the fluffiness of my hair. And you might say like, well, if you have the fluffiness, why are you worried about that? It was just getting to be way too much, like so much. So I started oral minoxidil because the foam was not working well. And I ended up starting that pill back in March. And you lose way more clumps of hair at that point. But I was like, you know what? It's only for a couple weeks and then it starts to lessen and it's gotten better. My eyebrows are coming in more. My mustache is coming in more. I actually had it waxed, which was great. I was getting laser last year, but because my hair was stopping to grow so much, like all of my hair, that I was like, well, I didn't even need it anymore, but now I do. So yay, counting that as a win. So there's that. And I'm very happy to report that it is coming in much thicker and I will show some before and afters. I wanted to come by my apple tree. You can't see them very well. I wasn't really supposed to let any grow this year, but I decided to just let a few just because. So relationships. So my kids are all almost grown up. My youngest goes into grade 12 and that really hit me. Unfortunately, the anxiety and the panic that happened because as a result of the tinnitus really threw my entire everything into like a panic overdrive about the kids growing up, about just everything. So it's been so stressful to even enjoy summer because I'm like, it's the last summer. I'm just enjoying these apples so much. They're so beautiful. That is a relationship that I'm starting to, you know, you kind of, it modifies. Of course, you don't work yourself out of it, thank God. My husband has been amazing. Amazing. I love him so much. He is just absolutely my best friend. He's home now, thank God, from being away. I needed him so much. I'm so glad he's here. And I also, my mom, she's been so supportive, and friends. So friends have been very good for me to recognize that's a new stage of life that's good because it's almost like there's an identity crisis starting to happen. So friends, but also this community, this online community. I am obsessed with you guys. You guys are the people in particular who comment often. I see you, I recognize you, I know your handles. I love it. I love it. I have people who have been commenting for 5-6 years. I actually just hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, which has been a major boost, and I'm so grateful for it. And if you're new, welcome. You are welcome. Like, I'm so happy you're here. I see us all as a community and as friends. I have my membership also, which is where we talk about decluttering and about healthy living. And actually, I wasn't going to talk about this in this, but I do have a workshop coming up because I think that it is so important for us to make sure that our home and our health are all working together, because as I'm demonstrating, it all is connected. And I have a major thing coming into the membership in August, and I wanted to talk about something that I am calling the missing piece. So it is a workshop coming up. I have to make the landing page for it still, so I will put it here right now on the screen so you can join it, and where I'm sharing with you how to actually get on top of everything and feel on top of your life, of your house, of your health. As a former nurse, I have been studying health and taking care of ourselves and fitness and nutrition for a long time. Those are things that I have in the membership, and I want to share it with you guys for free for this workshop, so join here. One of the things that I wanted to mention is, and we're going to go to another spot. There's so much cat hair on that chair. I'm just going to sit on the table for now. We'll sit on the chair later. I need to clean it. So when I used to work in this one area of nursing where we did infusions for people with cancer, we did people who were dealing with really bad infections, infectious disease, all of these things. And there was this clerk who would work there. And the clerk in this particular area was so overworked. And it wasn't just one person, there were multiple that worked there. And they were always so stressed. And the reason they were stressed is that at the end of every day, they never felt like their work was done. And they always felt like they were behind. They always felt like they had so much left to do and that they weren't even staying afloat, that they basically just had like their hand out of the water trying to stay there. And I remember thinking, like, I like these people and they keep leaving, and it was because the workload was crazy. There obviously need to be more people there, systems needed to change, and that is what I see a lot of us dealing with our houses, is we feel like we just can't stay afloat, so we're just so stressed out and dissatisfied at the end of the day. It's not like those ladies had to take their work home and continue working, but they felt it. They felt that they never were ahead, even though maybe they were off for 2 weeks. They still were just like, oh my gosh, like it was so stressful. I didn't like working here. So I feel like that is what so many people deal with their houses. And that is why I am so passionate about what we're doing on this channel. And things on this channel, I have talked about decluttering and minimalism for a long time, but that's also why I've started talking so much about cleaning routines, because, and especially cleaning routines of other cultures or women of the past, because these are routines that help people stay ahead for centuries, probably millennia. Am I using that term right? Maybe not. My brain is so done. I am just coming out of the fog of this anxiety right now, so forgive me. But that's why I am talking about these things, because it's so often we hear something and we're just like, that's it. That's the thing. Like, I talk to women in my membership and I'll just say like one thing, reframe it, and they'll just be like, yes, that's a light bulb moment. And I'll be like, wow, I'm so happy that I helped you, because I didn't even realize that I was. Like, it was just, you just need to hear things differently, which is why I am giving these different routines. I also am obsessed with learning about other cultures, love Japanese culture, love historical stuff, love like Victorian stuff like Florence Nightingale. Oh, love her, especially, you know, the former nurse aspect. But also, that decluttering is so important, because we just need to get rid of it. We just need to get rid of the extra stuff. I just let go of something, and funny story, I had this stuff that I needed to declutter, these huge bean bags. We had bought these 3 massive bean bags for our kids to watch movies in we have like a movie room, and it was time to let them go. During that period when I was so stressed and upset about this tinnitus, and I can hear it right now, but being outside is helpful because there's a lot of extra noise. But because my nervous system was feeling so threatened, I was basically, the thought of selling that was so hard for me. So a lot of people who are like, I just can't declutter, I can't this, I can't that. Quite often there's other stuff going on, and that is one of the I do actually have a video about that in the membership too, because it's very hard to make changes like that when your brain feels like it is under threat. So I understand. That is why it's so important that we start doing the decluttering on those days when we do feel well. I get into that in another video. I'll just leave that for now. But I wanted to just invite you to join the workshop, because that's what we're dealing with. I'll put that link right here again in case you're like, what are we talking about? I'm so tangenty right now. So basically, I am at a stage where I'm just in a big, we're moving. We're like mentally, my brain is like, we're shifting, and that's okay. I'm glad I have you guys here for it. I did want to talk about, I am going to quickly share a couple of tips. I will share with you some skincare stuff that I do, because it is helping me right now in just a minute. The other thing that's been really helpful is, of course, reading your comments. being in the membership. And I have been deep diving Murder, She Wrote. I love it. I've been watching it streaming and there's commercials. I think I'm just going to buy the series. I love it so much. Jessica Fletcher, she's the greatest of all time. She's the GOAT. She's wonderful. I think I'm going to get into Columbo. We've been watching old movies. We've been watching Bad Boys. We've just been having so much fun. And just really, I think it's so important that we connect to ourselves. Oh, the other thing I was going to mention. So the other thing that I feel like is so important is nutrition, as I mentioned. You know, getting those nutrients so your body at least understands, all right, like we're good. If you're feeling great right now, still really important. Our protein is so important, especially as we're aging. And movement. So I have been lifting weights for years, for like 10 years, I've been lifting weights. And I started my walking treadmill a couple years ago. I did go off it for a bit, but then I started again. Now I have a great one. I'll link it below. It folds up. But during this really stressful time, the other thing that was helpful, sometimes you have this nervous energy, and I knew I did not just want to sit. And it was harder for me to go down and do the strength training, but at the very least, I could just walk on my treadmill and get that movement in. So I believe in such a holistic approach. And on this channel, we are going to talk about the cleaning things I mentioned, the decluttering, the minimalism. There will be a little bit of health. I can't not talk about it. I know those videos don't actually get clicked on as much. People aren't as interested in, you know, the health stuff, but I will mention it here and there. It'll just be embedded in other videos probably. Unless you want dedicated videos, let me know in the comments. And again, this video is for people who are like, you know, either longtime viewers or people who are just like, yes, I get it. We're this together, which I like. I'm like that with some people too. I find people on YouTube who I'm like, I connect with this person. So I get that. And I just wanted you to know that the channel, we're actually going to go deeper. It's not going to be surface level. We're talking about the real things. I don't talk about health really that often on this channel. Oh, and if you're like, oh, but you might need hormones, don't worry, I'm on them. And I have been for a couple of years. I'm just praying that this tinnitus goes away soon. Pray for me. Oh, and also, please only ask me about it in the comments of this video, because I'm afraid it's going to go away and then somebody's going to say something that's going to trigger me to like remember it. I know that's probably not how it goes, but it's who knows. Anyway, let's get to the hair routine, the skin stuff. Okay, so before I get to the actual hair stuff, I am going to just remove my makeup, and I use this green clean. None of this is sponsored, by the way. I'm just sharing it because sometimes people like to see this. So I use this green clean pharmacy stuff to remove my makeup, and I'm just going to do that right now. You just put it on, you wipe it off. That's anytime a phantom door opens, it's just a cat. So I'm going to take off my makeup, and then I will show you the rest of the stuff in my arsenal. Okay, well, if there's one thing that'll keep a girl going, it's washing her face and doing her hair. So quickly before we get into that, I just have been asked these questions, and that's why I am answering it. So this is the face wash that I use, Skin Fix Barrier, after I do this. So in the shower though is when I will use this. The shampoo that I love, even though it is a little pricey, is this Sap Moss. And what I like is it is a weightless hydration, because again, like I said, my hair is thin, and that helps me with that. Actually, I'm just remembering something, and then the conditioner that goes with it. But I forgot something very important, and that is, while I'm chatting, I actually am going to put this stuff in. So this, because I get gray hair right here, which is fine. I'm happy with that. But because it was thinning and it is curly, it gets really frizzy and just looks horrible. So there's this stuff, which is Davines Alchemic shampoo. This is chocolate for darker hair, and you can wash it with that. I do that maybe once a week, and then I put this, which is the conditioner that's colored as well, and I put it in. And I just bought this brush just to help keep my hands clean for the days when I'm not doing like more of it. Sometimes I put it throughout, especially on the days when I do like the shampoo as well. So I just put it right there and I will let it sit as I'm making dinner, or sometimes I'll walk on the treadmill, or I'll just do like 5 minutes before I hop in the shower, like right now. And then when I'm in there, I'm just gonna rinse the brush. And then when I'm in there, I am showering again. Like I said, I wash with this and I just sort of wash around that. I'm not too worried about that part of my scalp. It kind of just gets cleaned as it goes. Another thing I do usually while I'm waiting is I will put 1 of 3 dandruff shampoos in, because unfortunately I developed that. This is the Nizoral, which apparently helps with it falling out. It's very strong. It's very drying, so I don't use it all the time. Or I'll use the CeraVe, or I use this great stuff, which is Durkos, which is like a really great anti-dandruff shampoo. And I was happy to talk about this stuff while I am letting my hair, while the stuff sits here. So let's chat the skincare. So you can see, like, I do have rosacea and like this little spot, which is really annoying today. I will use this Finacea, which is an azelaic acid. Use that. I sort of like alternate between that and the Rosiver. And then my favorite thing right now for aging skin is this. This is Retin-A. It's a tretinoin, which is a retinol. It's a gel. It is so good at helping with like the fine lines and everything. Like, it helps with the plumping, and I absolutely love the results that I get from it. So before I get in, I will put on that dandruff shampoo, and I just put it in the affected spots because dandruff shampoo is not good for your hair, but it is good for obviously controlling dandruff. And having to cycle through these 3, it drives me crazy because, you know, as a girl with curly hair, you unfortunately need a bit of extra stuff. And that is annoying, but it's life. So I just put this on and I pretty much get in right away. A lot of them say, like, let it sit for, you know, 5 or more minutes or whatever. So I will do that and then just alternate through them all. Once I'm in there, I just, like I said, I just wash, rinse. It's all good. And that really helps, like, manage it. And yeah, like, I hate to be this high maintenance, but it's either that or live with frizzy hair and dry skin. So I'm going to go in and then we're going to come out and I will show you how I style it. Okay. So, what I do, first of all, after I take off makeup, I usually use this. I already did that. You missed that. I spray this on a cotton pad, wipe it off. It just is that last little bit of toner. Now and another tip of something that I do that is so good. In my wound care experience, what I learned is how good Vaseline is for many skin things, not all, but many. And I put this at the top of my toes and my heels and the bottom of my feet. You want to be very careful not to slip. I do that and then I immediately put socks on. I'm an always sock wearer, but even if you're not, you could just do it for like 10 minutes and it will, my feet are so soft. If I go and get a pedicure, they're like, I don't even need to file your feet. They're so soft. So now I'm going to put in this Paula's Choice. Again, I'll link everything below. And this is the Calm Rescue and Repair. They had another one and then they stopped carrying it. I don't know where it went, but I miss it. And so this is the normal dry. I did get the one that's not normal dry once, and it was just not moisturizing enough. So now we're going to do the hair. Oh, one thing I did want to mention. So the retinol is prescription. You can get retinol not prescription. This is 0.04%. I don't even know what the non-prescription is. And yeah, like all of those face creams I use are prescription. I also put this on my scalp for the dandruff, and it is a game changer. It's like Kalul DS Ducray soothing cream. So amazing. So let's do the hair. Okay, so when you're doing curly hair, again, this is a really good thing for people who have like little girls with curly hair and they don't know how to do it. or for anybody who's asked, because so many people ask, and now I can say, go to this point in this video. So I moisturize, of course, like up here, because we want like clumps to form. And then I actually get this wet again. Oh, I forgot to mention, I always wear this sweater because I am like adding water, like praying hands style. Like I'm putting it in my hair and wiping it like this. So I don't want my back to get wet. So that's why I do that. And now it is dripping wet, which is pretty much what you want. I normally squeeze like the tiniest last bit of drips off. Now I go in, more Aveda. The Aveda Nutriplenish, and this is the leave-in conditioner. So I do 4 sprays. Actually, that was 3 on the left side, because usually that's how it's parted. So I'm obviously just trying to have it balanced. And then I do 3 over here. Lots of, and this helps protect with the blow drying as well. And now I use this stuff. This is Verb Curling Foaming Gel. And I do 2 pumps. It's sort of like this. It smells nice. It's got a really light kind of like orange smell. And this is killing me not having my AirPods in right now because I can hear the noise in my ears quite loud right now. But we're chatting, so I don't. And then I do 1.5 pumps on this side. And we do like raking through, and then they call it like praying hands, and then I scrunch up just so that I get all of it. Now we are doing, I use this. This is a bounce curl brush. It's got these teeth. It's got this. It's very good. So I part it, and I just use my finger, like that. I don't want it. Yesterday I did it too far. And actually, I only do this every 2 days, basically. This seems like a big to-do. It's actually like, it takes about just over half an hour for me to shower and do my hair, like start to finish. And then my hair is good for at least 2 days. So that is convenient. And then I just use a shower cap every other day. And I always do my hair at night, usually. So I'm just sort of going through and just creating these clumps. There's this company, they call them Curl Families. Isn't that nice? Ooh. And you don't want there to be a knot. Normally it's pretty good. I also recommend combing your hair in the shower. And if there's a knot, you just want to really gently work it through because you don't want to break any hair. I used to have so much broken hair. I used to have such dry hair. Everybody, like hairdressers would be like, oh, your hair's so dry. Ooh. And now it's like, they're like, it's so healthy. And I'll be like, thank you. So, and that's all because of this method and the products that I use. But not every product is going to necessarily work for everybody with curly hair. You don't necessarily need to go use so many. There's a company called, I think it's called Luss. Or maybe it's now called Love Your Curls. I feel like they sold it. But so anyway, I split it down the middle, and then I split that down the middle. So there's 4 sections. So I go like this and then up. You may remember in the past I did a video, and I think I took it down now, but I did chunks and I would just spin it around my finger, which is another option. But at the moment, I'm not doing that. I don't have the time. I barely care. And so I will do it like this. And then I put in a like large pea size amount of this. This is the Instant Freeze Aussie Gel. So I take like a pea size amount and then I just do this, scrunch it in. There's so many terms. We're scrunching it in. And then I plop, that's the term. This is just a yoga microfiber towel. I don't do yoga anymore, but I have this towel and I've used it for my hair forever. And then I just sit like this for 2 minutes half an hour, whatever. And then I blow dry it. I'll show you that next. So I will often let it sit up for about 10 minutes. While I'm doing that, I'm putting on the retinol cream. I put on 1 pump per cheek, then my forehead, the back of my hands, and don't forget your neck. But this is the sort of thing you have to work up to, so don't jump into every day. Frustratingly high maintenance, but with my skin conditions, my hair type, and aging, this is where we are. What are you gonna do? So to blow dry, you don't move it around. You put it in one spot, hold it for 10 seconds. This is sped up, which is why it looks like it's faster. And then you move it and you just go back and forth, back and forth. And then I do the sides, hold it for 10-ish seconds, obviously, making sure you don't burn yourself, and then doing the back. And I do it until it's mostly blow dried, and you can use any blow dryer. You don't need a Dyson. This was just sort of like a Christmas gift. I had a really very affordable one before that worked really well too. But you do need a diffuser with curly hair. You do need a diffuser. Okay, so it's not fully dry. I'd say it's like 80%. I think that's what people say, 80%. So I let it kind of just go like this for the rest of the night. Sometimes I flip like this way and that. And the whole point is that for the next couple of days, I can, well, basically it's every other day that I wash my hair in the evening. So tomorrow will be the best hair day I have. The day after that will be like wash day early. So, and then there's this stuff, which is the stuff for the dandruff, which this is meant for like your face, but I am getting great results on my scalp with it. So I just put it like a tiny bit on. And yeah, so I will show you what it looks like after. All right, this is how it looks at the end of the night. And this is actually, I suppose, if I showered earlier, I would go out like this, but I don't usually do that. Now I'm just gonna put it up. I'll show you how I do that. So I do it pretty loose. I used to actually use one of those ones that were like the old telephone cord. And then I would like clip. But this actually is better. It's very loose, so none of the curls get disturbed. And then I just sleep on my silk pillowcase and all is well. I hope something great happens for you today. Please like, subscribe, give us a hype. Stay tidy and mighty. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.